Well, hello, you lovely creative people. Matthew here with Gear Sounds, and today we're going to be putting this big old gray boy into this lovely red lady down here. Well, that sounds interesting, doesn't it? Certainly does. The GX-10 is pretty good. I like it. Okay. It's like a 7 out of 10 for me. But it's got some pretty good default tones on it. That's one of the things that I like. When a pedal has good default tones, it means less thinking, right? You can just mess around with it and you're pretty much good to go. I love going through presets here. Some of these are weird. These are actually synths, I think. Am I in the synth section? Probably. Ancient Moon. See if I can find a little rhythm for that. So the RC-600, let me explain the setup while I'm finding a different drum beat. The RC-600 is plugged in to a separate channel on the positive grid Spark. So the Spark is actually running the loop itself. And let's see if I can change it to something more like a cajon. There we go. The Spark is running all of the drums, the loop itself, the background loop, but it's also running a copy of the guitar signal. Then, once the loop is going, the main guitar signal, one of the sub outputs is plugged into and running just the guitar signal only, which has the GX-10 effects on it, obviously, through to the Princeton Reverb amp. A great setup since, again, the GX-10 is going through two different amps. It's like a wet-dry setup. And you get the cleanliness of the drums on the full-range speaker, because drums on a tube amp don't sound very good, but drums on a full-range speaker sound great. Now, on the Positive Grid Spark, I've turned off all of the effects, all the amps. It's just a blank slate. My channel 3, my hardware preset on this Positive Grid Spark is completely blank, so that I can run the GX-10 or the Headrush Prime into it and use it as kind of an amp platform until I get a real full-range speaker. Not that the Spark is not a great speaker, but it's a little lower end in the full-range category in terms of the quality it's producing. I think studio monitors are obviously the best full-range speakers that you can buy, other than going hi-fi above that. But I think I'll get something like a Laney, maybe set something like that up in stereo. But for now, that's the setup. And I recommend, if you're going to run everything into one speaker, at least run it into another tube amp or a cheap solid-state amp. Solid-state amp or a full-range speaker like the Spark is going to run drums better. But if that's all you got, just run them both. For me, I have it separated, so that's what you're going to hear here. Oh, that's our other loop. Let me erase that. Let's do this one here. Oh, whoops. So for this, you actually have to turn the rhythm on, otherwise you can't hear what your drums are going to sound like when they come in. So here we go. So now I can separately turn up any different set of volume that I want. sound better than others. A lot of them sound kind of weird. But all in all, again, I just kind of like the GX-10. Not in love with it, but it's okay. Okay, so what else have we got here? We can keep that same little beat. Let's do something a little lighter. What is this? Winter in 2047? Is this a synth tone? Okay, what's next? Jazz club, guitar, spilene. Oh no, no, slow dance. Yeah, not a big fan of that either. Sometimes I just don't like the drive that they choose for the particular patch. That's kind of cool. see if we can solo with that weird tone. So I'm going to do dyads because the tone is so overwhelming. It'll give us more room for our solo if we just do only dyads of the chord. So instead of a 4-note or 5-note or 6-note chord, we're just going to do the first and then the third, right? So. And if you ever disobey your diatonic chords, in other words, if you ever disobey the rules and choose a chord that's major like this one is instead of minor like it's supposed to be, then you have to make sure you acknowledge that change in your solos. So instead of playing the minor third during the solo here, you're going to play the major third there. And then when the other chords come in, if you switch to the minor third, kind of give it a cool sound. It'll almost sound like you're acknowledging those other chords as a shift and a change. That's how you play leads well. I'll give you an example. Here we go. Play the major third there, minor third everywhere else, right? Minor third, minor third, minor third, minor third, major third. That's the easiest way. That's a good example. I love that major third, minor third switch. I'm a fan. Definitely a fan of that one. Alright, moving on. That's New Age Blues, by the way. Space Echo. Simple stuff sometimes works. Pretty good analog delay there. Da, 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 da. I like it. Over the top. If it's over the top, I'm a fan. Is that a song? That sounds, I mean, of course it's somewhere. That's too soft for what I'm trying to do. Let's do something heavier instead of cajon. Let's do rock. Here we go. That might be a little too fast though. So I'm tapping the rhythm button, or tap tempo button rather. Not quite perfect. I didn't know the rhythm would be that speed. So here we go. There's a count. Oh, you gotta look at the blinking light, of course. it's a great tone, and I think a great ending to this little live stream here, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Boss GX-10 into the RC-600 is necessary because the looper functionality in the GX-10 is lacking drums. No drums at all. I wouldn't even really need a multiple layer functionality. Just give me the drums, and then you don't, for a large part of what you want to do, you might not need, especially on this gear channel, I wouldn't need to use the RC-600 if the GX-10 had just a basic drums in it. But even for a basic gear video, kind of want the drums. I do. It sounds great. But if you're going to do this setup, make sure you're separating the drums out. Like I said, full range speaker, pretty much required for the drums. I hope you guys enjoyed that little jam. See you guys soon. Probably Thursday. Bye for now.